Let's take you to this story now. The state of Johannesburg's traffic light infrastructure is dire, as most of them are non-operational. The Johannesburg Roads Agency says it needs around 70 million rand to fix the damaged and replace stolen traffic lights across the city. For more on this, let's now bring in Sipho Nhlapo, who's Johannesburg Roads Agency's acting HOD for mobility as well as freight. A very good morning to you. Thank you so much for making time for us this morning. How was it traveling to work this morning? Was it difficult at all, considering that some of the traffic lights don't work?
Yeah, it's always a challenging drive at some times, but there's also pockets of improvements. Last week was not one of the best because of the rains. And this week, we're waking up with load shedding as part of that. So certain areas obviously were out of power and obviously affecting some of the traffic lights, and this could have affected a lot of our road users today.
Yeah. Why do you make mention of rain? What is it about the rain that leads to traffic lights not working?
I'll tell you, you'll realize that mostly in the inner city, CBD, and your Randburg area, what we call Region B in Johannesburg, those intersections were done many years ago. Now, the cabling that was used those many years ago, the insulation was one of the weakest insulation that was like paper form. So when there's rain, usually there's ingress into those intersections. And then obviously water and electricity, we know they don't mix very well. That's why then the traffic light will default into flashing. And also there's been a situation whereby because of the reinstatements, the city had seen the installation of fiber, the installation of, so those things have actually made some of the road surfaces not very strong, and then water ingress goes in. Those are some of the challenges. But what we have been doing over the years now, and then we've seen a very big development in this, we've been recabling some of these intersections. Obviously, you'll understand, trying to recable the whole city with 2,000 signalized intersection, it's a process that will take some time, and it's a process that requires a bit of capital injection to be able to complete it. But that's what we've been doing actually to reduce that.
Yeah. How many traffic lights do we know of currently that are not working, whether it is because of the rain or whether it is because of vandalism?
All right. We usually work with 3 layers. We've got technical that we fix very easy, flashing, we try to go there. But in terms of vandalism, the totally vandalized intersections in the city of Johannesburg alone is about 194. There are those other intersections that are vandalized, but they are still functioning. Sometimes you approach a traffic light, you can see there's a pole on the ground, so there is a damage into that pole, but the intersection as a whole is still working. So sometimes then we don't actually rush to try to fix that because at least the intersection is still giving you your greens, your reds, and your amber, so that we can actually, the traffic can move. But 194 sites are totally vandalized. If you were to go on that site, you won't find a pole, you won't find cable, you won't find anything, and we need to rebuild those from scratch.
Yeah. So are we only speaking about 194 traffic lights at intersections that are not working due to vandalism? I'm asking about the total number of traffic lights that are known not to be working in the city.
Okay. The total now, I think if we take 194, that is total vandalism, about 202 that are vandalized but are still working. So that adds to 396. We also have about, at any given time, about 25% now of our intersections that are not working because of power. Because also Eskom and City Power, they do suffer the situation whereby their cable is not working. So all in all, if I were to talk to you, maybe about 543 to 600 intersections may not be working in the city today. But 202 of them are working, but they are vandalized as well. So that then reduces 194 only to about 488 altogether. Yeah. That is not working.
The Daily Maverick ran an article, and I'm sure you've seen this, and they've quoted you in that article as well. And part of the issue that they raise here is that the community showed chronic problems on major roads that carry most traffic lights, Beyers New Deer Drive, in Bruma, in Bryanston, in Douglasdale, all of Fourways, the Golden Highway, Gordon Road, Grayston Drive, Henry Potgieter, and the list goes on and on and on. And here they describe them as chronic problems, meaning that whether there's rain or no rain, whether there's load shedding or no load shedding, these traffic lights are not working.
Yeah, thanks, Aldrin, that you bring in that one up. You'll realize quickly the intersections that we had mentioned, they form the spine of the city. These are your main economic hubs, and these are the intersections that Previously, they were managed by our colleagues at Province. And then since the 14th of February, we have signed an agreement with Province. And we've identified about 6 intersections that forms that spine that JRA has been requested by Province to actually help to rebuild. So we are in the process of rebuilding that. I think in the next few weeks, you're going to start seeing a big difference along those spines, more especially your economic hubs. Because also in terms of the city, we want to make sure that those critical roads that makes the economy of the city works, we're the ones that they actually are working. So we do have some arrangement and relationship. We've been requested by Province to work on those intersections. And I think we'll begin to see some differences in terms of those intersections working in the next few weeks.
In the next few weeks, what's your deadline?
It can't be a deadline as such because it's a traffic light we need to build. We have 60. You'll start seeing us gradually building some of them. As they come online, we'll make you aware. And some of the people who drive those intersections, they will be clearly aware that Greystone has been resolved, or Bayers Nodia, some of them have been resolved. You'll start seeing that Golden Highway, you'll start seeing that coming online, Aldrin.
No, I'm asking you this because I want to give you another phone call once we've reached that particular deadline to get an update. So what's your update in fixing all of these? Do you say 60 intersections?
Yeah, there's 60 intersections. Give me a call in 2 months' time. Let's see in 2 months' time how many of those are actually online.
How many? Not that all of them will be online.
No, it cannot be all of them. Some of them, remember, are quick wins. The problems are not very big. We can deal with those quick. There are others that the problems are a bit severe. We may need to take some more time dealing with those. And then there are other ones that are totally, we need to relook the total intersection rebuild because of the damage is very, very extreme. And obviously going forward, there are certain elements of security and safety elements will be introduced into those intersections. So we may change a couple of things. So that's why I'm saying in 2 months' time, give me a call. Let's see out of that 2 months, how many are done and why others haven't been done, because we'll probably be still working on them.
So you don't even have an estimate whether at least 50% of them, 70% of them, some sort of target that we can work on?
Okay, let me tell you now, by 15th of March, we should have at least about 20-25 going on.
By the 15th of March, what will happen?
About 15 to 25 of them should be running.
And that is not percentage. You're saying 25?
Yeah, because remember we're working with 60. If I were to give you that in percentage, yeah, you can calculate. 30 will be 50% of the 60.
Okay.
So we're working about 45%, give or take.
About 45%. Okay, let's set that reminder for the 15th of March, and then we'll have this conversation. I quickly want to take you to this, also related, of course, to what happens at these intersections. What does the law say about private citizens who direct traffic when their traffic lights do not work? And here specifically speaking about homeless people, which I believe that the city is actually exploiting, because these are individuals that are directing traffic. They don't get a remuneration. There's no safety, there's no security, yet the city is benefiting from the service that they are providing.
Thanks, Aldrin. Now, this will have been best directed to JMPT, our colleagues, because traffic control is theirs. But I will explain to you. The law says a person, an officer has a right to control traffic. A uniformed officer takes precedence on every road marking or any product on the road to control traffic. Now, the people who are controlling traffic are not recognized officers to do that. That's the law. They are not. However, as far as I know, JMPD has gone out on the market. They've released an invitation for people to apply to become their traffic controllers to do the work. So I'm really requesting those that are doing it without the authority to do it to actually apply. And then when they apply, they get the jobs, they get allocated and scheduled to those sites. Then probably we can start talking about that remuneration and then the use of the words exploitation. No, but there is a process that needs to be followed. The law simply says an officer that is given authority to control traffic can control traffic. Those people who are doing it, they are not. But let them apply, let them get into the system so that they can help control the traffic.
Well, they are doing it right now and they absolutely get nothing from the city. I think that's exploitation.
They need to apply, Aldrin. I think let's
Okay.
put it there. Let's get people to apply for the jobs so that they can have authority to work there.
Yeah, but the point is that the city has allowed them to be directing traffic for, it's been years now actually that this has been happening for.
No, Aldrin, I don't think the city has allowed anyone to operate traffic control without any authority.
I'm saying to you that I've seen even traffic officers benefiting from the services that are being provided by homeless people at intersections. A traffic officer in his JMPD car would be standing at an intersection while the traffic is being controlled by a homeless person.
Yeah, direct that to JMPD, ask them. But in terms of traffic management, traffic flow, the JMPD didn't give, but they can answer that for themselves. JRA won't be able to answer that one.
Okay, then. Thank you so much for your time. That is Sipho Nhlapo. He is Johannesburg Roads Agency's HOD on the number of traffic lights that are not working in the city. There are plans to restore those traffic lights, but my major concern is also somebody, as he has said, who is not hired to do the job, doing the job, and us, I guess, as motorists, as well as the JMPD, benefiting from those services that are being provided for free. It is exploitation.